Hello all, I'm Dr. Bijoy K. Thomas from St. Xavier's Institute of Education, Mumbai. Welcome to my session on e-content development. In this presentation, I'm going to briefly discuss the most effective way of developing e-content for an online learning environment. E-content development can be a complex task, but with careful planning and the right tools, we can create an effective and engaging platform for online education. Building a successful online learning environment takes time, effort, and ongoing maintenance. It is essential to stay responsive to user needs and market trends to provide a valuable and competitive educational experience. Several frameworks and approaches have been proposed to facilitate the development of effective online learning platform. In this session, I am going to discuss the steps and design of e-content development. For effective e-content development, the developer should follow various stages. The various stages of e-content development are need analysis, use of learner profile data, organizational profile, blueprint, qualitative evaluation, delivery of e-content, and maintenance and updating. In this presentation, I will discuss the significance of each phase in the e-content development process. The first stage of e-content development is need analysis. What is a need analysis with reference to e-content development? Need analysis is a critical step in the process of e-content development as it helps to identify and addresses the specific learning needs and goals of target audience. Need analysis ensures that the e-content is relevant, engaging, and effective in achieving its outcome. The need analysis process will provide information on the course demand in the present social context, help the developer specify the broader learning outcomes, review the existing practices, and finally provide an in-depth understanding of the challenges of the existing practices. Need analysis can be done before, during, or after an online course using various methods such as survey, interview, focus group, observations, or test. It will help the developer make sure that the e-content addresses the real need of the population. The second step is the collection of learner profile data and its use. Learner profile data refers to the information collected about learners such as their preferences, learning styles, strength, weakness, and previous learning experiences. This data can be highly valuable for developing effective e-learning content designed to meet the individual needs of the learner. The data may be used for developing personalized learning paths, content customization, adaptive assessment, resource recommendation, and assistance for students with special needs. The next step is developing an organizational profile. An organizational profile in e-content development provides a comprehensive overview of an organizational goals, values, expertise, and capabilities in the context of producing electronic content. The data ultimately helps the developer identify the organizational philosophy for online course structure. Organizational philosophy for online course structure can be categorized into several dimensions, namely the fully autonomous approach, the basic guidelines approach, and the highly specified approach. In the case of fully autonomous approach, the organization gives complete freedom to the developer to develop the online courses according to their perspectives. In the basic guidelines approach, the organization provides some basic guidelines for preparing and developing content. On the basis of these guidelines, the developer may prepare the e-content. In the highly specified approach, some of the organization provide very rigid specific guidelines for preparing e-content for the developer. The developer adheres to all these guidelines for the development of e-content. Knowledge of organizational profile and organization philosophy for online course structure is important for a developer to make proper decision to develop e-content effectively. When designing e-content, it is essential to have a comprehensive plan. This is often referred to as course blueprint. On the basis of learner profile data and organizational profile, The developer is preparing a blueprint for e-content development. A blueprint is a detailed plan to guide the content developer to define the objectives, identify the target audience, choose the content type, mode of assessment, plan for developing interactive content, testing for accessibility, and mode of collection of feedback. It also includes the framework for e-content delivery. The framework for e-content delivery include the online platform and its features for delivering the course, the budget incurred for developing and implementing the course, technical support required before, during, and after the course, approximate number of participants and storage capacity of online platform, time duration, and online tools used for transacting the content. Blueprint helps the developer carefully plan and organize the e-content to ensure that the content is engaging, informative, and effectively delivers its intended outcome. Quality evaluation in e-content development is a crucial process to ensure that digital materials meet certain standard of accuracy, credibility, usability, and effectiveness. Since the internet is flooded with vast amount of information, evaluating the quality of e-content is essential to make informed decisions, avoid misinformation, and providing valuable resources for users. Remember that the process of evaluating e-content may vary depending on the context and your specific needs. Developing a critical mindset and employing these evaluation strategies can help developers make informed decisions and navigate digital content effectively. After evaluating the quality parameters, the e-content should be delivered effectively. The delivery of e-content involves delivering the e-content for educational or informational purposes to the audience. This phase included determining the optimum time frame for course requirement, e-content design sequence such as open, structured, or non-linear way of accessing the content, and finally the time frame for releasing the content. For example, releasing all the modules at the beginning of the course or releasing it on a weekly basis. The last stage is the maintenance and updating of e-content. This stage is crucial to ensure that the digital materials remain accurate, relevant, and effective over time. E-content maintenance is an ongoing process. Regularly revisiting and updating the digital materials will help developer provide value to the audience, enhance credibility, and achieve goals effectively in the digital space. Now we will focus on designing the e-content. Designing e-content requires careful planning and consideration of various factors to create engaging and effective digital materials. Here is a framework to guide you through the process. It is essential to adapt and evolve based on user needs and technological advancement. Here I am presenting a framework known as PPPA. It includes 4 stages. PPPA stands for Prepare, Present, Practice, and Assess. The PPPA framework is based on Gagney's 9 events of instruction. How can we develop e-content with PPPA framework? The first stage is Prepare stage. Effective teaching involves not just delivering the content, but also engaging and inspiring your students. A good introduction of a lesson is key to achieve these goals. It is the initial part of a lesson where the instructor prepares the students for upcoming learning experiences. The primary goal of this particular stage is to activate students' prior knowledge, engage their interest, and create a mental framework that helps them understand the new material being introduced. It sets the stage for effective learning and helps students connect with and understand new material that will be presented during the lesson. The second stage is the present stage. This stage of teaching can vary widely depending on the specific context, age group, subject matter, and teaching goals. However, in general sense, there are several key stages involved in effective presentation. In the digital scenario, it is advised to focus on an interactive presentation stage. This approach is designed to enhance students' understanding, retention, and engagement by encouraging active involvement and collaboration. By incorporating these elements and strategies, the instructor can create an interactive presentation stage in teaching that promotes active learning, engagement, and deeper understanding of the subject matter among your students. The next stage is practice stage. The practice stage of teaching is a dynamic phase where students actively engage with material, apply their knowledge and skills, receive feedback, and ultimately strengthen their understanding. It plays a critical role in the overall learning process and is essential for building competence and expertise in various subjects. Individual and group activities are provided at this stage. Various digital online tools are used to practice the content. The fourth and the last stage is assess. It involves a combination of formal and informal assessment methods and should be used to inform your teaching practices, adapt your instruction, and provide students with the support they need to succeed at their current stage of learning and beyond. Online assessment are in various formats, each designed to evaluate different skills, knowledge, or abilities. The choice of assessment type depends on the learning objectives, the subject matter, and the skills or knowledge being evaluated. Online assessment offers flexibility and scalability in education, training, and evaluation across various domains. The digital content can take many forms, catering to various media and purposes. This e-content is represented digitally in the form of text, documents, audio, graphics, video, and digital portfolio. These are some of the examples of representation of e-content. The digital tools are continuously evolving with new formats and platforms emerging over time. The University Grants Commission of India (UGC) recommends 4 quadrant stages for the development of e-content. Quadrant 1 include e-text. Quadrant 2 include self-learning materials in the form of audio and video. Quadrant 3 include web resources and other supplementary materials. And quadrant 4 includes self-assessment. Let me discuss some of the principles of e-content development. The e-content should be developed based on the 2 maxims of e-learning. The 2 maxims of e-learning are equivalency and openness. The first maxims of e-learning is equivalency. Equivalency in e-learning refers to the concept that different learning experiences can be equally effective in achieving same learning outcomes. It suggests that there is not a single way to deliver online education, and various approaches can be equally valid if they lead to the desired learning objectives. Equivalency in e-learning context recognizing that there are multiple effective ways to facilitate learning, and the choice of instructional method should be based on specific context, learner needs, and available resources. It recognizes that learners have diverse background, learning styles, and learning needs, and it encourages developers to provide options that accommodate these differences in the e-content. The second maxims of e-learning is openness. Openness in e-learning refers to the principles, practices, and technologies that promote accessibility, inclusivity, collaboration, and sharing in online education. It emphasizes breaking down barriers to education and making learning resources and opportunities available to a wider and more diverse audience. The concept of openness in e-learning aligns with the broader principles of open education, which seeks to make education more equitable and accessible for all, regardless of geographic location, socio-economic status, and other barriers. It promotes the idea that knowledge should be a public good, and the technology can play a crucial role in achieving this goal. So, the foundation of e-content is not based on technology, but on learning community. The learning community and their interactions are the core principles of effective e-content development. Let me introduce briefly about the content development tools. The content development tools are essential for creating, editing, and managing various types of content, including text, images, videos, and more. These tools are widely used by the content creator and educators to streamline the content creation process and ensure high quality output. Developing e-content such as e-learning modules, digital textbooks, or multimedia educational materials can be greatly facilitated by utilizing open source tools and resources. The open source software and content allow for collaboration, customization, and cost effectiveness. Here are some of the examples of open source tools for e-content development. Thus, the effective development and use of e-content is important in today's digital age. In conclusion, here are some of the key points that highlight effective way of utilizing e-content. Accessibility. Ensure that e-content is accessible to a wider audience. User-centered design. Develop e-content with the end user in mind. Understand your target audience needs, preferences, and learning style. Quality content. Content should be accurate, up-to-date, and high quality. Interactivity. Incorporate interactive elements to actively engage users. Multimodal approach. Use a variety of media types such as text, images, video, and audio to cater to different learning styles. Personalization. Implement personalized features based on user data and behavior. Engage with the community. Encourage user participation and community building around e-content, especially in the educational and collaborative context. The last point is compliance and copyright. Respect copyright laws and ensure that e-content complies with relevant regulations. Here are some of the references related to this topic. You can go through it. Thank you so much.